everybody, and welcome on into Sidelines, presented by Visit Potter-Tioga. I'm Drew Patrick. On today's episode, we talk baseball, we talk softball as they prepare to get into fun portions of their seasons. Plus, we talk with Abigail Taylor about her all-conference triple jump. Welcome back to Sidelines. Let's talk softball now. As joining me at the desk, Anastasia Berardi and Danny Goff. Thank you both so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having us.
So first, of course, how does it feel to be back out there and playing games again this past weekend, to get back into the swing of things?
It felt really good. It was our first time on the field, actually, playing as a team, so it was really exciting to see the good stuff that we did.
It was just nice to be outside again, all together, and see what's in store for us this season.
Yeah, so let's talk about the game specifically. Anastasia, you found that big of old bat. Talk me through what was kind of the key to your success this past weekend.
I think when I go up to bat, I just kind of turn everything off, and I just focus in, and I was just ready to go. I was excited. Just wanted to help my team out and find us the hits that I know we needed to score runs, get us on the board. So, yeah.
And then, similar vein, as you just mentioned, that it was your first time really on the field together. So to get the live batters again in a game situation, what was that like for you, and how was that transition back into that flow?
It was nice. We've been doing, thankfully, G's been having us do a lot of live during practices and stuff. So, but it was nice to not have your teammates right there. So it's oh, I can get them on this pitch. So it was nice to have that challenging component introduced back.
I always feel a little guilty if you get the best of a teammate.
Exactly.
I get it. So you guys, the battery mates for that second game, and what was kind of the key strategy for you guys working together to lead to the success of that game?
I think that we had a lot of progress coming out of game one since we executed our bats so well. Mm-hmm. And I think that the energy that we brought to game two was a real game changer.
I think we were just I know pitching and catching for us going to the second game, we were just ready, especially losing close in the first game. We were fired up and ready to go, and like Danny said, carrying the energy that we had into the first game into the second game. It just kept the ball rolling, and just ready to kind of get payback for the first game.
Yeah, so as you guys look ahead and prepare for the spring break trip, what are you kind of most looking forward to in this stretch of a lot of games back to back with one another?
I think spring break is going to be a kind of determining factor for us. It's going to tell us a lot about our team, how our rotations are going to go, and how our team is going to work together.
I think it'll be a good growth period to see us have consistently games back to back on the dirt, get to know each other, have more live at bats, see pitching, just a lot of key things before we go into PSACs, because that's when we play our conferences, which really counts in the matter of things. So getting these games under our belt, more time on the dirt, more communication, seeing how each other play, since we do have a lot of new people in positions that we didn't last year. It's good to kind of see how we all glue together and stick together.
So, in that same vein, so then what are some of those skills or some of those factors that you will look forward to really honing in on and really focusing for this trip?
Like Stacia mentioned, we basically have a whole new infield. Since we lost Joe and Alex, those are two huge positions, and then we had Natalie Blackstone come in, and then we have Kayla Von Steen at the two power positions, in my opinion. So I think that just getting all those together along with our outfield, they've been doing crazy work over the off season, so I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think we're really gonna work on just being together. I think it's a great bonding time too, and seeing it's just a lot of reps that you're getting in, like getting to know each other, like getting to know situations, since we can't really practice those. Like we can, but we're not really outside here.
Yeah.
Like we literally stopped at practice in dirt for the first time on Saturday before our game. So like situations, like not going up against each other, like Danny mentioned in live at bats, like seeing pitching, like I think like we showed a lot of good things in our first game, and I look forward to like seeing where we go and like how much we progress.
That you mentioned is kind of an underrated or maybe unsung thing, that communication aspect, that team bonding aspect of this trip, especially when you're down all together and you're spending all of your time together. That bonding, that communication is so important. Talk about how important that truly is, that team aspect, that communication, that bond to success.
Yeah, I think that's like one thing Team 42 this year is like having as a big component as our like general message is like communication and teamwork all together is like bigger than like you could ever think. It's like if you don't get along like on the field, there's no way that you're gonna like make progress or like do good things together.
I think there's also a trust factor that comes into it. Like, I know, like, personally, like, catching trust is a big thing for me. Like, I trust, like, especially, like, with Natalie at short, like, I know she's going to get there for run down. I know, like, Kayla and Abby, they'll be ready if I want to throw. Like, I trust Danny when she's pitching. It's a big trust thing that goes into all of it. So I think, like, building that trust is, like, really important that a lot of people don't realize. Because if you don't have that trust, like, you're not going to be as confident on the field and knowing that people have your back.
Yeah, that trust, especially pitcher catcher. You
Yeah.
have that trust.
100%.
Yeah.
There was a couple times on Sunday that station really saved me, and I was like, "There's that trust, baby."
So, what are kind of looking at this season as a whole? Not only the spring break trip, but obviously I don't want you to look past it, but at the conference play, what are your goals for this year, and what are the things you hope to accomplish this season?
I got this. Something that G has mentioned multiple times is like stopping errors. And I think like our second game, we did a very good job at like picking up on that to not let things like roll, which like last year we did struggle with. Like we let a lot of big innings happen, and like especially our second game we focused on getting out of those big innings. So like seeing that potential like so soon on is so exciting to me, that like we are like stopping, like as they say, stopping the bleeding early on to like be able to stay in games. And I think like we're gonna take the PSAC like by surprise this year, because I think like we have a really good team and we're like very underrated. Like I say, we're like the underdogs in the PSAC. Like we were ranked last, but like I think we have a really good shot this year, and I'm excited for the games to continue.
I'd have to agree. I think that the PSAC is seeing us as like the underdog, just like under the radar. So like we're gonna let them do that, and we're gonna show them.
Hey, being the underdog is a fun spot to be when you get to surprise people.
Everybody loves a good underdog story, and that's Team 42.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I know you are as well. Thank you both so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And Sidelines continues after this. Do not go anywhere.
It's all part of Mother Nature's perfect blend, the keystone of the Keystone State. Visit Potter-Tioga, a 2-county scenic outdoor haven conveniently located, yet worlds apart. A place where you can kick back, unwind, and forget about the pressures of life. Disconnect and reconnect with your friends, family, or even yourself while surrounded by nature's beauty. So start planning your adventures today at visitpottertioga.com.
Welcome back to Sidelines. Let's talk baseball, and let's talk bringing out the brooms after a sweep this weekend. Joining me at the desk, Dylan Mercedes, Ben Osborne. Thank you both so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So let's just jump right into it. A long trip, but a very productive trip for you guys to get that sweep against Virginia State. What were some of the things that led to those games?
We really just trying to keep playing our game, keep swinging it. We were swinging it hot the last few weekends. Didn't get the outcomes we were expecting, but we came out and proved who we actually are.
It all came down to keeping high energy, a good focus throughout the game, and not letting up on the team. We always got into a situation where the more we let teams hang around, they always end up coming back to bite us. So we just made sure we kept the focus throughout the game and just sealed the win.
First, to be able to get on, have these couple of weeks where you guys get on the field, which has been tough here with just the weather that we deal with up here all the time. But how do you kind of approach these first couple of games in terms of getting that on the field, really access and work, and also trying to continue to get better with each other?
I really think that we have a bunch of upperclassmen that have been around this kind of scenario for a while now. So they kind of help the younger guys, and whoever's playing that day, they'll go out, take extra ground balls, extra fly balls, extra swings, just to help them get ready for the game.
I agree with Ben on that. It's all about, as an underclassman, about adapting with my environment, just getting in the field every day, getting everybody in the team in an actual game environment against other teams that actually feels kind of good. Actually adapt with them, actually be outside and not in the gym all day. And just to get knowledge and experience from the upperclassmen, it means a lot to like all the underclassmen, because now they're getting knowledge and more experience as they're going through the season.
So what are those specific focuses, these early games, this past week perhaps, that you really want to focus on? Some things that maybe you don't get a chance in practice to focus on. What are those specific either skills or roles that you really want to focus on these first couple of games?
Definitely fielding, because inside of a gym, you're on the hardwood floor. It's not going to be as realistic of like hops per se, but on the field that we can go out there and just field and play our game.
Defense wins games, and just being outside more, getting real situational, like fielding, good defense in, instead of being in the gym all day. Like I said, it comes to adapting with it.
And with these first couple games, a couple of long trips too, a thing that's underrated is the communication aspect on the field, specifically defense, as you were just saying, to have that constant communication. What have you guys done to try and work in that area of the game?
Just a lot of practice, just getting out there and just keep playing our game, taking extra ground balls, extra fly balls, like I said earlier. But it's just all about just trusting one another out there. If someone makes a bad play, we got another guy picking them up, or the ball's gonna come right back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, overall connecting with the team, even if it's outside of practice, I feel like we all see each other off the field, get communication and get some team bonding and build up the chemistry early so that it correlates on the field too. As we all say, we say family on three because we all trust each other as brothers. So if we keep that energy and trust one another because we're warriors, the outcome is gonna be good.
Absolutely. And then the bats. They've come alive for you two this season thus far. What do you have to do to keep that rolling as conference play is this weekend somehow? But what do you guys have to do to keep that momentum going and keep finding your bat and keep finding kind of those creative ways as there's more proof or evidence of you guys?
It's just really helpful to know that each guy in front of you and behind you is going to pick up their slack. So say you don't have a good at bat, that guy behind you, you trust him, he's going to get the job done for you. Or say you're going to start the inning off, you're going to get a hit. That's just going to feed the energy, keep it going, just keep it rolling.
All about staying hungry, having confidence in yourself, having confidence in your teammates, trusting that if my teammate don't got me now, I got his back, or if I don't got it right now, my team got my back. And it's all about being aggressive too. We all spend countless hours in the gymnasium, whether it's in practice, out of practice, on our own time. We all put in the type of work that once we get on the field, it's time to do what beasts do. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to do what beasts do. That's why the bat started rolling, because we all had that hunger inside the gym, so we just had to bring it on the field.
Yeah, I can attest to the want to be in there. After basketball games all throughout this winter, the minute the game ended and the minute you guys could bring out the cages, they were coming out. So with conference play this upcoming week, what does your focus shift at all for conference play, or is it still kind of the same mindset per game?
it's go time now. I mean, this was all kind of like a spring training kind of thing, see how we all feel, see how we connect as a team, but now we're all together and we're ready to roll.
Agree. All games, out of conference, in conference, it all matters because those are opportunities and not bad that many wish they could have. So to take it, you can't take it for granted. The same energy you put to out of conference games, you got to put to people in your conference because you're just preparing with those out of conference teams to match up with all those in conference teams. And just keep the energy of winning and having that winning mentality and winning plays. It just correlates all throughout the conference.
So the adjustment this year with some of the schedules for you, the 9-inning game one day and the 2 7-inning doubleheader the next day, do you think that's going to be an easy transition for you, or how are you guys kind of approaching that aspect going into conference play?
I think it's going to be kind of the same as last year because we still got to get our bodies ready for each game. We're going to take it game by game. We just got to make sure we're all ready and locked in.
Agreed. Game by game. We all put in the hours too in the trainers, recovering our body, getting our good rest in, getting sleep, and it's just, you don't really think about it till actually you're done playing. Like our adrenaline be so high during the game, it's like, all right, it's just go time, we're on the field. So your body doesn't really feel the strain of it. But it really just gets in with just playing. The more we're outside, the more games we play, you just get used to it.
Does that strategy change though with a 9-inning game and a 7-inning game? Obviously the shorter innings, but does the mindset or kind of the pressure you'd put on yourself change at all for those?
A little bit, because we're only playing a few more innings, but we just got to see how our bodies react. It's just going to really test us a little bit, but I feel we're all prepared and ready to go for it.
Yeah, I think about it as more at-bats. So, yeah, 7-inning game, you're limited certain at-bats because with a 9-inning game, you could probably get more at-bats than you would in a 7-inning game. And just having a 9-inning game, just being around baseball, it just reminds you like playing MLB baseball. You sit through 9-inning games. Actually, to play 9-inning games is like you're preparing yourself like a pro.
Absolutely. And then this week, the opponent, Shepherd, it's the longest trip in the conference you guys have to make. But hey, you've been practicing the last couple of weeks with long trips. So how do you kind of approach that on a long day and long trip going down? Expected to go down to Shepherd for that 9-inning game. What do you have to do on that long bus ride to kind of get your mentality right?
For a lot of guys, it's all just music and sleep. But a lot of guys, they're the big movie guys, or they're playing video games, just whatever like gets you ready for that. Definitely stay hydrated and get some rest.
Hydration, rest, and just really assessing the destination you're going to. Once you get on the bus, you plug in your headphones or just sit on the bus, whether you're watching a movie, you're thinking about the destination of, all right, we're taking this long bus ride because we know we're about to go play some baseball and we got to go defeat our opponent. You got to think of it as like a war. We're all representing a certain university, a certain base. So we're going to another person's home to cause havoc. That's how we think about it on the field. When we're on that bus ride, you just see all your teammates, you talk to your teammates, oh, what's your mindset going into this game? Or what's your mindset if you got this situation? It's just a good bus ride to really channel in your mental and just be ready to go when you get off the bus.
Fantastic. And then as we transition to conference play here, I want to talk to you guys about kind of what your goals are as a team or perhaps individually looking through for the rest of the season. What are some of those things you really want to focus in and hope to achieve by the end of it?
Well, our number one goal is to make playoffs and just keep going from there. But another thing is to be top of like the leaderboards in the conference for offense and defense, as well as pitching. We're just trying to be up there on all stats.
Just do everything they say we couldn't do. Everybody has us as the underdog. We're a very sleepy team, but it's like once you let the beast off the leash, they're gonna feel a hunger for real.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
And Sidelines continues after this. Do not go anywhere.
Pride and passion drives the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. From 55 NCAA championship teams, 294 individual national champs, and counting. Who's next? Make the PSAC yours. PSAC Proud is winning in athletics and in the classroom. Over 3,100 PSAC student athletes are honored as scholar athletes. It's a perfect mix of athletics and academics. It's time to make the PSAC yours.
Last week, we had the opportunity to speak with all PSAC triple jumper Abigail Taylor about her performance at the PSAC Indoor Track and Field Championships. Take a look. This past weekend, we had the PSAC Championships for Indoor Track and Field, and we have a medal winner here with us today. Joining me at the desk, Abigail Taylor. First of all, congratulations once again.
Thank you.
So the triple jump and able to get that silver medal in the triple jump. Let's talk about that those jumps, those first couple of jumps. What did you feel? What were kind of the things you were seeing?
So actually during the jumps, I just felt really calm. That was the main thing that I needed to work on from the last meets. I wasn't able to hit my PR since the first meet. And it was because I would just get so filled with adrenaline that I just couldn't slow myself down enough to make it on the board and to get that mark. So this time it was different because I was able to calm myself down and get the mark.
Do you find that in that, what led to that calm down? Because that's an interesting point there. Do you thrive kind of, you think, in that championship environment, or was it just sort of everything seemed to click kind of day?
So I think something that helped me is before I went to the meet, I kind of looked up some exercises, breathing exercises and things that I could do just to calm my nerves a little bit before I went out and jumped. And I was more intentional in between jumps about taking time and just being by myself instead of, talking to people and, so that helped a lot.
And I mean, you mentioned it with a PR jump, and the thing is, where you're at right now, any PR is another school record for you. What does it mean, though, for you to, in your first year, freshman year, to be able to get a school record here?
I mean, it's just...
Or if you come to terms with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I really come to terms with it, honestly. I think it's just cool to be able to do something that I really enjoy honestly doing. And to see the success that comes from it, I guess. But I don't think I've really come to terms with it, honestly.
How about that silver medal that's around your neck? What did you feel when you were given that to be able to put on? What did that feel like, especially in your first year?
It just kind of felt unreal. I was just my jumps felt so calm and so natural. So just to be able to receive an award for it, it's just kind of the cherry on top, I guess.
Absolutely. The other thing that is a very interesting point is that I saw on social media that you were Coach Jamal's first recruit here at Mansfield, first one to commit to him. So, and it's weird to try and put into terms, I'm sure for you, but to be that first recruit that recruited to him and to be able to be on the podium and get a medal, what does that correlation mean to you?
I think it's really special because I remember the first time I came and visited, we just went to Manzer with the team, and that was my first time meeting the team, but it was also his first time just sitting down and eating with them. So it's kind of cool just to have those experiences and just to get to experience those things with Coach. So yeah.
And the growth this year with the team and with the camaraderie in your first year, how's that been for you, and how has that team aspect been?
Honestly, I love my team. I really love my team so much. That's the thing that made me come here was when I visited. The team atmosphere, it's just so good.
And how do you take then the momentum from this indoor season moving to outdoor season?
Well, I guess we'll find out because I'm wondering the same thing. But I think just being able to keep myself calm in between jumps, I think that's something that I still need to do, obviously moving into outdoor, and just pushing myself even harder in practice.
So the other thing, too, about this jump is you, and I don't know if you know this one, but you become the first Mansfield athlete to get an all-conference performance in a jump here on this. So, yeah, that's a lot of information. But,
yeah.
to try to build something here like that, to try and hopefully have more successes like that. What does that mean to you? And I guess going back to the last question too, how do you grow on that knowledge?
I think I actually didn't know that, so that's really cool. I think it just means it's just very significant to me, I guess, because I don't want to take it lightly at all, and I want to like be able to appreciate that and kind of let it sink in, I guess. It still hasn't, honestly, but yeah, it means to me that I need to keep working. I need to keep pushing harder and harder so that I could keep seeing this success and making the team proud.
Well, Abigail, once again, congratulations so much on an all-conference jump, and thank you so much for taking the time and stopping by. And that's going to do it for this show, folks. To stay up to date on all things Mansfield Athletics, head over to GoMounties.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.